What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and we are going to be reacting to some tweets today. Well, some Excel. What do you even call them these days?
Messages? No, not messages. Posts.
Comments on X regarding the latest links to Leroy Sane. So everyone's seen them. We brought it up in our Tottenham updates over the last couple of days. I put out a poll on the platform. It says, Tottenham reportedly hold concrete talks with Leroy Sane. Do you want him at Spurs? So, yeah, 66.2% saying yes, 33.8% saying no.
And nearly 2,000 votes on that poll.
Yeah, so quite a lot of votes there. So I think that is a fairly good barometer of it. But in my opinion, I think I would take him at Spurs. I would prefer other targets ahead of him, but I think he'll bring some really good attributes to our attack, and I believe he's got probably more quality than the majority of the wingers that we do have at the club, where Sim thinks otherwise.
Yeah, I just think he's getting on a bit. I think his name precedes him more than what he actually offers. Not to say he doesn't offer anything. He's still a good player. But we've already got Son at the moment, who's a bit in decline. I don't know if we want to sign another winger who's a bit in decline as well. He's going to be 30 soon. I just think we needed someone more in their prime than someone whose maybe best years might be behind him.
So let's see. Also, we know what the poll's saying, but let's go through some comments. What are they saying?
First one we got here from J McCutchio 89 says, not sure, seems like the type of player that's lost his hunger, doesn't try hard enough, and we can't afford to have players like him. Similar to Ndombele.
I think that's really harsh, man.
Similar to Ndombele. Doesn't try hard.
Do you not think that's so harsh? Like,
is he a hungry player? Has he lost his hunger? Is there a case to say? You know, he's won so much.
That is the kind of narrative surrounding him, but I don't know if that is the case. I just feel, I don't know where they get that from. Like, where is that coming from? How would anyone know that he's lost his hunger?
I guess you have to see him on a regular basis, see how he's performing. Obviously, he's still got the quality to score goals and do stuff like that. And when he's been on the pitch for Bayern, he has done that fairly regularly this season. But I don't know what kind of games he has been scoring in. Is it the smaller games in the Bundesliga rather than the main games? What's his Champions League record like?
Champions League record's not great. He's scored 1 goal in the Champions League this season.
So that implies when he's maybe playing the better teams, I don't know, maybe there's something missing there.
Yeah, there is a case to that. I mean, look, his Bundesliga form has been very good. He's been called upon a lot by the manager. He's been trusted a lot by the manager this season. And there are some top quality wingers there. So that tells me that the manager does have belief in him. And on top of that, Bayern Munich are trying to retain him, retain his services, and sign him up to a new deal. Where on the flip side of that, they're trying to get rid of Tell. So that tells me that they value him a lot more than they do Matisse Tell.
In Champions League, he's averaged 48 minutes a game. Not really trusted that much in the Champions League.
That's fair.
13 matches, 635 minutes.
So who have they played in the Champions League? Is it Musiala on one side and
get Elise there,
Elise on the other side,
and Kane up front. So I don't know. I don't know whether there's something missing there or not with him. We'll go to the next comment. SB says 29-year-old diva who's injury prone on over 250 grand a week with declining pace is a big no from me. So many better options like Kudus, Mbeumo, Cherki and Yildiz.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I don't know if you're getting Yildiz out of Juve though.
No, you're not getting him out of Juve. Cherki's about to go to Man City, so that's not going to happen. And Mbeumo is the one. Like, I would do a lot to get Mbeumo to this club this summer. And if we can, I think that represents, you know, taking this attack onto the next level. I'd love to see Mbeumo at Spurs. And if you gave me the choice between Sane and Mbeumo, I'm choosing Mbeumo every day of the week. Every day.
Yeah, I think so. I just think he's the kind of guy we should be going for. Someone who's hungry in his peak, like ready to make that step up rather than Sane. I don't know, I just feel like Sane's just on his way down at the moment. Daniel Sanford. In terms of Kudus, though, is that something you still want? Not had a great year at West Ham.
No, he hasn't had a great year, but that doesn't take away from the quality of the player, in my opinion. I think, look, when you're looking at West Ham, apart from Jarrod Bowen, has anyone had a good year there? Probably not. Does that mean they don't have
Wan-Bissaka, probably? Who? Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, fair. But, I mean, does that mean that all these players just turn into bad players overnight? Like, no, they don't. Mohamed Kudus still has so much quality about him. He's at a really good age as well. I feel like he just needs, like, new surroundings to get that back out of him. And I think Kudus is a brilliant, brilliant player, and I would love him at Spurs.
Yeah, what I found about Kudus, though, is, like, he likes the ball to feet and then taking people on and doing stuff, but he can be a bit frustrating. Sometimes he would be a bit selfish. I don't know how much of a team player he is. That's what I'm concerned about with him. Daniel Sanford says, sign players on the way up or entering peak years, not on the way down.
Yeah, that's fair. That is a fair thing to say. And, I do agree with it to a certain extent. And Sane is definitely not on the way up. And he is probably past his peak. But I just feel like he's just got so much quality. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, we've got so many wingers at this club, or so many players at this club in general, that are kind of on their way up, but not at that level yet to really make a constant impact week in, week out. And I feel like whilst we're waiting for these players to get there, getting Sane in for 2 years and showing the quality that he has, it would be a really good stopgap for us.
That's also fair. Which one was I on? Kernow Sports Guy says, I'm reading that if we get Sane, we wouldn't get Tell. That has to be the most Tottenham thing ever. Either signing a cracking young player with a long career ahead and bags of potential, or a very good player who is nearly 30 and injury prone, who would most likely break at Spurs.
Yeah, that is a good point as well with the injury track record.
Yeah, true.
I don't think Sane, won't make good reading for Sane. But look, the thing with Matisse Tell versus Sane, like I said before, there must be a reason why Bayern are desperate to get him out of the door, and there must be a reason why Bayern are trying to retain Sane's services first and foremost. And second of all, like, how much potential can we buy without actually doing something? Like, we need to do something next season. We're in the Champions League. We need proven quality to take us in there.
Yeah, I hear that. Obviously, Sane's obviously more ready to play now. Maybe Sane's more willing to take a back seat rather than Tell, who wants more game time. But then again, you could argue, will Tell get that at Tottenham? That's also a good question right now, which is definitely the jury's out on. Dinos D says, hard pass, turning 30 in January. He's looking for one last massive contract before retirement. Is he in for just looking for a payday?
I don't know. If he was just looking for a payday, why is he not staying at Bayern?
If he's looking for a payday, maybe he thinks he can get more money at Tottenham. I don't know if that's true.
That's not true at all.
How much are they offering him, Bayern?
Apparently they're offering an increase.
Don't know. Yeah, don't know. Can't
if he
give you an answer
genuinely just chasing the money, he would stay at Bayern and sit on the bench there. I think the reason he wants to move is he wants more consistent football. And maybe he's been told at Bayern, with the emergence of Elise this season, who's been one of their best players, if not the best player, with Musiala, the future of Bayern Munich there, he's not going to be getting that much game time.
It definitely would be an exciting signing. Dixon Inderhol says, don't believe it, and I'm not massively in favour of it. Maybe we can do a Perisic-like deal and get him on a 2-year contract or something, but he's 29, has high wages and struggle with fitness. In terms of quality, bring, but in terms of listed reasons, not so keen.
Yeah, and I get that, but when has 29 been too old?
Well, he's going to be 30 by the time we get him.
He'll be 30 in April, no?
Oh, is it not? Okay, it's April.
I thought he's 30 in April.
January.
Oh, in January. So halfway through next season, he'll be 30. So by the end of his contract with us, he'll be 31 if it's a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, isn't it?
If it's a what about if he only wants a longer one?
If he wants a long-term, like a 5-year contract, then obviously we shouldn't be doing that.
But what about longer than 2?
3 at the very, very max, but I would ideally be 2.
Can't see us offering more than 3.
Yeah.
We
shouldn't.
Even 3.
I shouldn't offer him 3. I think 2-year max. I think we should offer him 3 years if it's do or die. But I think 2 years should be what we should be offering him.
But are we going to offer him the wages?
Well, that's another question altogether, isn't it? That's another question altogether.
He's going to be coming as our highest paid player.
Yeah, but I'm hearing as well. Maybe the reason he's desperate to go is because his wife and his family really want to move to London. That's another thing as well. So. Maybe that's why he'll accept lower wages to come here. Happy wife, happy life.
Mr. Machine says he's going to be a liability if we get him injury prone and more interested in clothing lines and rapping than playing ball. 250k week. Stinks of a Levy getting a freebie big name to appease the fans and not go for players we should, like Eze and Mbuemo.
Yeah,
Can you accuse Levy of skimping out if we go for Sane? Is that an accusation?
I mean, I've been complaining about the wage structure all season, so it'll be bit hypocritical of me if I'm gonna, say he's skimping out on a 250k a week contract. However, I don't agree with the first bit he's saying he's going to be a liability, but I do agree that we should be going for players like Eze and Mbeumo ahead of him.
We've got two conflicting comments, one after the other. Ash Coy says, over Tell, absolutely. Then Alex THFC says, I'd take Tell over him.
I just don't see...
Two conflicting...
I just don't see how you can say Tell over Sane.
Right now, you have to say, obviously, Sane is a much better player. There's obviously no evidence that Tell's ever going to reach Sane's level. That's the truth. But even
a downward trajectory, Sane.
Yeah, for sure. Tell is nowhere near that at the moment. At the moment, anyway, it's fair to say. But yeah, he's not shown anywhere near to be Sane's level.
Yeah.
And there's doubts whether he ever will. No, he might, but he's 19. Sane at 19 was a pretty good player at Schalke, to be fair.
Absolutely.
He was. I think he was at 19. I'm trying to remember that was a very good game. They beat Madrid in the Champions League, and I think he was unbelievable that game.
Put it this way, Sane scored more goals in the Bundesliga this season than probably Tell's got in his whole career.
Yeah, Tell's obviously young, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's no surprise. But I guess the argument would be, if you sign Tell as a player, if you really believe in him, if the staff who see him behind closed doors really believe in him and his quality, and they see him in training, they think this guy, just give him a bit of time to adjust and he can really explode. You've got a player there for many, many years potentially.
I've seen stuff in Tell that I can go on and I can get behind, but I just feel it's going to be way too long to get him to those heights that we need him to get to, and we need quality this coming season. Like, we can't go in with the same forward line that we had last season in the Europa League and expect to do anything in the Champions League.
Yeah, agreed. I think we definitely need bigger, much more quality. I think that's the goal of the window. Rehan says, "Let's get all the Bayern rejects. Why not?"
Gnabry next.
When's Kane going to get dropped? We can start calling him a reject.
Bring in Harry Kane.
Johnny H says, I think they've set his feet in concrete so they can get him to sign a deal worth 50k a week." I don't know. I'm trying to work out what maybe he's saying. Is he implying that maybe Sane's using this to get an increased? Maybe he's using the interest to get a high deal.
Potentially. I mean, Bayern don't want to lose him on a free. That's the reality.
Well, if you refresh it, there's just been an update on this story as we've been live, so you might as well go through it now. Refresh it, Sammy. The likes. The first story. So, Plettigol saying Bayern have improved their offer for Sane, increased the fixed salary. The club want to extend Sane's contract. Max Eberl and especially Ulai Hoeneß want to keep the winger. Still no final decision by Sane, but it is expected soon.
You know what I mean? And if he was such a washed-up talent, if he was such a troublemaker, if he was focused on rapping and clothing lines and all this kind of stuff, would they be so desperate to keep him?
No, that's all fair. But what my point is, they've got Olise, right? So he's their main winger. He's going to take all the minutes. And obviously Sane playing in a backup capacity, that's fine. If we're signing Sane to do that, I'm open to it. But we have Brennan there. We want someone to be not in a backup capacity. We want Brennan to be in the backup capacity.
But you accept he's better than Brennan?
Yes, but given where he's at in his career, I don't know if that's what the role he's fit to play right now, especially for a team like us. I just don't know.
But he's
I've got
like
doubts.
33, 34, 35. He's 29 years of age.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he do that?
Because at the moment, he seems to be struggling to play lots of minutes in games. And
he still competes like a very good number of 90 minutes. And also, even if he can only play 60, 70 minutes in a game, you have Brennan Johnson to come off the bench in the latter stages of games. I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah, but he's playing for Bayern. They have 70% of the ball every game against smaller opposition a lot of the time. They're dominant in their league. They're the best team by far in their league. Tottenham's a different kettle of fish. He's going to have to work harder. He's going to have to exert his body even more, probably, than being that.
That is true, but before the injury crisis and last season, weren't we heavily dominant on the ball and weren't we heavily base possession team?
Yeah, and hopefully we do that as well. But we're still not the best team in the league, are we? Like Bayern are, who are by far the best team in the league. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know if bring him in as our number one winger there, if he's not going to break down or not. I'm just got concerns there because I think they manage him. And I think obviously Elise is the one who's number one there, and he's kind of a backup to him.
Yeah, that's true. That is all true, and it is fair. It is fair worries to have. I just would love to see him at the club, and I think he's got the qualities to really do it. And if we update our medical team and have a new medical team going in next season, I think we can make it work.
Oh, but it's interesting. But it's interesting. The comments were quite negative. Obviously, the poll was very positive.
Cherry-picked comments.
There wasn't. I was looking for a lot more positive comments, but a lot of them, the more interesting ones anyway, were more negative. Yeah.
It says one of the comments here saying, "I bet the people who said no really wanted Werner." It's probably true. It's probably true.
I don't know about. Well, I guess I was more positive about Werner than I am about Sane.
Yeah, it's true. Which is madness, absolute madness. But yeah, there are.
Well, so only if we have a time machine to take us back to making the signing in 2020.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be very nice. But look, let us know in the comment section below. Would you like to see Leroy Sané at this club?
Be good to hear from a Bayern fan one day, or maybe we'll get one on.
Yeah, well, Bayern have increased their offer to him, which makes me think that they highly value him still. So I think, not the narrative from you, but the narrative surrounding him, like saying he's a bad egg and all this kind of stuff, I think that's all complete rubbish. And I think, I literally don't know where it comes from. Like maybe because he had that spat with Sadio Mane a few years ago when Mane punched him. Well, if he was the wrong...
Well, okay, one sec, bring on reactions quickly. If you look at the comments under this article, the first one, click on, this is from Bayern fans.
What's it saying? Tell me. Sané out.
There's a few hashtag Sané out. Some saying disgraceful. Bayern fans don't seem too happy about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You scroll down even more. There you there you go.
I mean, we do
There's
see
your
that
answer.
From a lot of fan bases about a lot
No,
of people.
I hear you. But F off, one of them says underneath. Go down. Yeah, this one. Look at that. Wow.
The disrespect, man. The disrespect.
Wow. It's quite aggressive, isn't it?
See that about Ange.
Yeah. Maybe not this bad. I haven't seen this many AI images about Ange in under post.
Oh, have you not seen them over the course of the season?
Over the course of the season, yeah. I'm saying recently, come on, everyone's come back. Honus out. What's this one say?
Does not run, doesn't run, can't dribble, can't score a goal. I mean, that's all bollocks.
When you're passing the ball, he does nothing. The tree does not. He's saying it's the same as a tree. Comparing him to a tree.
This is such rubbish.
You want a tree, Ben? You want to sign a tree? Is that what you want?
We had one in Lorente. That didn't work out too bad.
This club is finished. Wow, the Bayern fans are not happy, are they? Our board is a joke. We are finished, man. This management is a disgrace. This club is not serious.
But, I mean, we've spoken about social media fans before, and we were literally having a go at social media Tottenham fans not long ago about not being happy after a cup win. So I don't read too much into that.
It's a lot, though.
Yeah, there was a lot in what we were saying about a few days ago.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. You're always saying doesn't necessarily represent all Bayern fans. No, yeah, it's true.
But like you can cherry pick the social media comments. You know what I mean?
I'm just not cherry pick. I'm just looking under this article.
I mean, you can cherry pick to look at the social media comments, but I mean,
I just haven't seen one positive one.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're talking about Spurs and winning a trophy, how many negative comments were there after
There was
that?
a lot of positive ones as well. I just haven't seen one. I'm just looking for one.
Keep looking, mate.
I'm looking.
Get your
I
magnifying glass
I
out.
literally don't see one. I'm literally every single post is like, this is the worst thing ever.
Sané in, people. We're gonna save him. We're gonna save him from these horrible fans.
Yeah, maybe that's what he needs. We need some love. They all hate him. Bloody hell. It's mad, actually, how much hate he's getting. I thought, is there going to be one comment saying like, oh, I've seen the one of Musiala punching him. That's so funny. Just one fan saying, actually, this is a good thing. Nice. There you go. Messiah says nice.
He's the Messiah.
Messiah says nice with a heart emoji.
Messiah knows what's cooking, man.
It's actually mad. Anyway, seems as though Bayern fans aren't too keen on keeping him.
They're all negative. They're all negative. They're basically like the Savas and the Shawns of this world.
I see. Bayern's have a bunch of Savs and Shawns. They'll flip-flop.
But yeah, that is how the internet is reacting to the Sane rumours. That's how the Bayern fans are reacting to the Sane rumours about Bayern trying to keep him and extending and making that offer, more attractive to him. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you like to see Sane come to Spurs and have those reaction from the Bayern Munich fans changed your opinion at all? Let us know. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.